Okay, what are we doing today? Today's going to be a little bit different. I want to test something that came up in a forum discussion. So I was having a forum discussion with somebody, and they were talking about build order, and ultimately there was a question going back and forth around what is the right thing to build first. And we were talking, comparing and contrasting three slingers out of the gate versus a slinger and settlers. And he was trying to make the argument that building three slingers is cheaper. And I was saying, well, while you're saving gold on your slingers, I'm building another city. And instead of continuing to go back and forth with them, I figured, why don't I just go and try it out? So I want to talk just briefly first about would you rather save 40 gold or be further along in building a settler? And we're going to just test it. So what I'm going to do, I've set up a game, random leader, Prince difficulty. Again, I like testing on Prince because that way you remove any of the bonus factors from the game. You're not getting positive bonuses, you're not getting negative bonuses. It's just straight baseline. We're going to do standard speed. Now, keep in mind, production and gold values do change based on the speed of the game. So if you are playing on a different speed, the values that you see will be slightly different, but the ratios should all be constant over the different game speeds. We'll just do continents, small map, no extra settings. This is really it. We're just testing the beginning of the game here. And so it doesn't matter as much, all these other settings, because we're not going to play through a full game here. So let's go ahead and get that started. We get the Cree Empire, be Poundmaker. Again, it doesn't really matter because all we're doing here is we're building settlers, we're building archers, we're building slingers, and we're going to do a comparison. Then I'm probably going to run this a few times just to see if we get consistent results or if the results vary as the games vary. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to be looking around here. That's plains. That looks like plains. That maybe is Plains Hills. Yep. Let's run him over here, see what else we get. So really I have the option of starting in Plains Hills and getting one extra production, or I can start here and get the coastal bonuses. I could consider going over to the T and giving up the coastal bonuses for that. Let's see. choices. I'm just going to settle in place. Ultimately, this isn't a video about where to settle, but I would have considered settling on the T. We're just going to settle in place for now. So choose research. I'm going to beeline for archery, which means I'm going to take animal husbandry first. And the first thing I'm going to build here is the slinger. Now, when I do subsequent follow-throughs, I'm going to try and emulate everything exactly the same. So I'll try and keep in mind which way I move and all of that, so we don't get anything crazy different because I do something drastically different than I did previously. Okay, so our first slinger is up. Now, this is where we're going to potentially diverge. So I want to save this game, and we're going to call this the 3x slinger test. So we'll save that game. And now I'm going to go try and find a barbarian to kill real fast. While I do that, I'm going to go settlers first. So we're going to test. This is the way that I would typically play this. I would build one slinger, and then I would move to a settler. And we're going to get that and that. I'll pick those same policies next time as well. I'm going to go to archery, craftsmanship. A lot of that stuff doesn't matter, so we're just picking things to stay focused on slingers versus settlers. So we've got the scout here. We're going to see what we can do to try and get an archery eureka off of this scout. Really want to go build down here. Grassland Hills. There's no production up here, so that's why I hesitate to just run up. I mean, I guess if I build on this river here, this is a desert, I believe. Desert Hills. You've got cattle there. Not sure what's up there. I could push out this way as well. Why don't I head this direction? Just see what I can find that way. So now that my first settler is done, and I'm looking, I'm thinking about how I'm doing this and making sure that I'm not entering additional variables that would skew the test. So I think the play will be one settler and then go to a slinger, an archer if available. If not, then I am going to build the slinger 2 and 3 just to see how that goes. Now, it's 5 turns to build the slinger. Archery is not done for 7, although if I can get the eureka, that will finish archery and the slinger will change to an archer. So we're going to pick that for now. And hopefully, well, I was hoping he didn't run too far away, but that's okay. We'll keep chasing him. Oh, don't want to go there. I can stake workforce again. That stuff is not all that important for what it is I'm trying to do. If I was really playing this game at this point, I'm not going for religion. I would probably pick God of the sea, being that I'm on a coast and there's going to be opportunity for boats. Oh, come on, man. I don't know that I'll be able to get that Eureka now. Okay, so where's this guy going to build? I think actually I'll build him on the T here. I can build an aqueduct later, and that will give me my housing for that spot. Now I get the T and I get the science from the city center. And let me see what I have. I have that and that. So I would build a slinger here. And with these guys, let's attack him and then attack him. I'm not going to get that archery Eureka at this point. So, and then, well, now see, here's an interesting dilemma. I'd have to wait 17 turns. Why don't I just pop the other slinger there? I don't think that will be all that important in the grand scheme of things. Hey, I got one turn shaved off because of that Eureka. Try to get him back to safety. Promo that. Upgrade him. Then I've got to upgrade him. And now you see that other slinger changed into an archer. I think I'll send him to Jerusalem. Doesn't really matter. That's not why we're here. Okay, so let me pause here. So I've got my 3 archers now. We can see turn 31 is where that happened. So this was the settler first build. Turn 31 to 3 archers. Just making some notes here because otherwise I will forget. We've got 80 gold in the bank. We're pushing 5 science a turn. And, well, actually, let me look at the, I'll pull up the report here on yields. So there we go. Our overall yields, 8 production, 9 food, 10 gold. For net 7 gold, 3 faith, and 5 science, and 4 culture. Okay, so those give us some parameters. So that is when we go slinger, settler, and then trying to build the last 2 archers with the upgrades. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and load our save game on our 3 slinger test. And we're going to try this with, we're going to build 2 slingers first, and then we're going to build a settler, and we're going to see how long it takes us and where we're at by the time we have 3 archers and 2 cities. So we've got our number 1 slinger there. And then we're going to build another slinger. Same policy cards. Now, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take that the same. I was going to think about maybe there would be a reason to not do that, but we're going to do it the same way. We're going to take archery as the next science. Okay, Slinger 2 is up. And we've got the barbarian camp that just popped there. Build in Slinger 3. I do not want to kill him, so let's funnel him that direction so we can get the Eureka. Okay, so now we've got our 3 slingers. We're going to start building the settler. Now with archery up, let's move these guys back. Now, one thing to point out, because I did have the extra military, that made taking out that barbarian go a little quicker, which does give me some additional gold. So that's actually a benefit to the 3 slinger approach, is that I got some more gold faster. So in that case, it's not just about saving 40 gold. I also was able to get more gold faster and got some XP across the archers, or the slingers, that I wouldn't have otherwise gotten. Oh, he was in the city, so we can upgrade. Upgrade him. Upgrade him. So we've got our 3 archers. Now we are waiting for our settler to come out. So, I mean, as expected, when you build 3 slingers, you're going to get to the 3 archers faster. So then the question is really about how long. I'm either going to stop at turn 31, or I'm going to stop when this settler goes and builds that other city. And then we'll do a comparison between those 2 approaches. Turn 27. And I need to build there. So it looks like it's going to be maybe the same turn. What else am I going to build? If I was actually playing this game, I would build a builder next so I could improve, get the ivory. And I'll do mining after that. I don't think I already did mining. I guess another thing to consider, the way that went, I got a little bit more of the map explored. It's worth asking the question, would I do anything different with this city? I'm going to the same place that I had built the city in the previous test. I don't, well, I guess in theory I could come down here, which I might have done instead, because then I'm getting the citrus. I've got a fish and bananas if I build right there. So that would be a pretty good go. And since these are city states, I'm not going to have them trying to build into this space. Up here, I probably would not have built up here before building this. So maybe, and this is where it gets really hard to just do a straight comparison, is you've got different variables in this playthrough that didn't exist in the previous one. How much of that can really be attributed to building 3 slingers versus a slinger and then a settler? It's hard to say for certain. But we'll just go ahead and build where we built the previous time and just say that there's not a super compelling reason to come down here and build versus build here. Choose research, mining. Set that archer. And we're at turn 30. We just get that city built. I'd probably build a scout at this point because we've got a lot of land and we want to uncover some of that. So turn 31. So here we are. We've got 50 gold in the bank. And if we take a look at our yields report, we've got 7 production, 6 food, 7 gold, 3 faith, 4.5 science, and 3.7 culture. So if we compare that, we actually did do fairly better when we built a settler as the second build. So slinger first, then settler, then your other 2 ranged units. We had plus 30 gold. We had plus 1 production. We had plus 3 food, plus 3 gold, plus 2 faith, plus half a point of science, plus 0.3 of a point of culture. So everything was higher to turn 31. We were in a better position across the board when we did slinger, then a settler, then 2 more ranged. So let's go ahead and repeat this. So I'm just going to do a restart. It's going to re-roll the map. It's going to re-roll the civilization since I did random. And we're going to do this again and see what we get. Norway. Okay. Go ahead and get started on testing this one. Grassland hills. Choices here. Move 2 over here for the extra production. I would lose being on a river, which means no watermill later. I could move here to kill the desert tile, which means basically then I can produce on this grassland hills as opposed to producing on a desert. I think ultimately, the same as before, this isn't a test of build location, so we'll just go ahead and build in place. And we're going to do the same approach. So animal husbandry first. We're going to start off with a slinger and start exploring this map. The heck was that? Nice to find some barbarians right away because I can take them out as this first slinger builds, and then I'll be able to move them down. And fight some weakened units. Okay, now here I'm one turn away from being able to build a settler. So I'm going to start the slinger. I am going to switch him on this next turn and go back to do the settler. Oop, that was not what I wanted to do. Then we're doing archery. This might work out okay, just because since they pulled the spearmen out to attack, he's going to attack over the river and get jacked up. Oh, really? Okay. I'll still get the Eureka with lots of time to spare. We're going to upgrade him first. Oof, that wasn't nice. Okay, now note that from that goody hut, I got population. So that will potentially skew our results. Because +1 population is obviously a pretty big deal this early in the game. Okay, archery's good to go. I'm going to take him out while he's next to me. So we've got our archery next. We're going to go sailing since I'm Norway. Upgrade our warrior. I'm going to take the slinger back to upgrade him. Okay, now we're building an archer straight away there. Now in this case, because there's horses there, I would absolutely just move and settle on that river. Oh, there's another goody hut right there. Upgrade him to archer. I hesitate to run into a goody hut when I'm damaged because sometimes you get the stupid heal, and that's dumb. How about that? Wow. well, that screws the test up. So if you didn't see what happened there, the river flooded and it killed my settler. So since that screws up the test, let's go ahead and load back a game. Let's see, autosave 26. Which is why it continues to be that the thing that impacts your game the most are the random events. And if you want to be really good at Civ, it's learning all these little mechanics is helpful, but ultimately the best players competing and defeating the highest difficulty levels are the ones that have learned how to adapt to all of the random events that happen in the game. So we're just going to move there this time and pause so that we don't get wiped out by the flood. And now we'll go found a city there. Let's heal first. Now, again, not something I would normally do. I take the game as it as it throws punches, but because we're trying to test something specific, I didn't want to have to start all over again just to get a baseline test in here. So now that this is done, I would realistically start with the builder so that I could improve those horses. I've got a recon unit as well. Now I'm still only at 1 archer because the production there is a little bit low. I mean, I'm working the production that I can, so nothing I can change there to make that go any faster. We're going to do mining. And we're going to take these guys back. And just D up. D up him. We'll move him out a little bit just for the extra perimeter. Move him back, D him up so we can get through these a little bit faster. And so next I'm building my 3rd archer here. Let's go and help out our little buddy here. So he, well, if I can. Nope, he's dead. That damaged. I should have pulled him back further. If I was really trying, I would have, but since that wasn't critical to our test here, and really we're just trying to get to our 3rd archer at this point, not a big deal. Let's do that. Okay, we get a Pantheon. Again, here I would probably, well, Settler's not available, so I would take God of the Sea, being on the coast with Norway, anticipating boats in my future. There's boats that would go up there too. Okay, so there we go. We've got our 3 archers. This is where we're at. So 42 turns to get to 3 archers. We've got 212 gold. And then let's pull up our yield report. 8 production, 11 food, 6 gold, 1 faith, 4.9 science, and 2.6 culture. Now, I don't believe I saved that game back when I should have done a save there. I didn't. Let's see. Do we have it in our auto saves? Let's see. We can go to like auto save 9. So now we're loading back in. We're going to do our 3 archer or our 3 slinger build, then settler, see if we end up in a different spot. Okay, looks like the archer had, or the slinger had already come out, so we're going to go back. That was 9. I'm going to go back to 7. I think it was 8, but I'll go back to 7 just to make sure that way, just in case I don't have to load another save game. And can just pass through the 1 turn. Okay, so we've got that, and now we're doing our 1, 2, 3 slingers. Moving this the same way I did the last game, not allowing myself to come over here and grab goody huts earlier or anything like that. If I was back in the original state of this game, I'd be focused on getting the Eureka with the slinger. So that's what I'm doing. Second slinger's out. He can start wrecking havoc up there. Gonna build that third slinger. Same policy cards. Get rid of him. Man, look at all those cows and horses up there. Holy smokes, man. This is just a regular random map, no legendary anything. Look at those horses. Man, cows and horses everywhere. It's like Wyoming or something. Let's see. Grab the goody hut with him. More cows. Elephants too. Like, that's pretty crazy. So settler then, we've got our 3 slingers, right? 1, 2, 3. So we're going settler next. And before I forget, just in case anybody's interested in playing with all of these horses and cows, there's the map seed and the game seed. So you can grab that if you're interested in playing the horse, cow, elephant continent. Okay, we've got our archery now, so we're going to beeline all of our guys back to get them upgraded. Mining is next. We've got our archer. Rest him up before going into that goody hut, or I might be able to get that first with the archer. Gives me writing. Not sure how many of these I'm going to do. I'll do at least one more, and then we'll see what the results look like after 3 rounds, 3 different civs, 3 different starting locations. But I do want to make sure, again, there's a lot of variability that can happen even when you try and play 2 games the exact same way. We certainly did not have the same luck with our goody huts. Getting that 1 population last time made a pretty big difference. And then having that recon, even though he came out and died, it can matter. So we're on turn 29 here. Turn 30, we still have 4 turns before we get our settler out of there. We'll take him. And we'll stop that guy there. Okay. Now we have maybe a different discussion around the benefit of uncovering more of the map and what does that actually mean. Now, remember in the first game, I came over here and built next to the horses. In this game, I would be considering some different options. Now we have a volcano here, but I might come with all this extra map uncovered and build there. That would be a consideration for me. Somewhere over here, like there, would be a consideration. And then over here would be a consideration as well. We have a nice +4 campus spot right there with reefs on either side. And so I would really consider building something in either here or here. Probably here, because then I could easier grab of these, as well as a harbor spot here if I wanted to build a harbor. I don't think that any of those are going to make a crazy difference, because down here you still have, you've got horses right there, you've got cows there, you've got the dyes here. So there's a lot of benefit to that spot as well. So we're going to move in that direction. Quasi-escort the settler so he doesn't get jacked. Although we have to watch out for floods. Actually, I think that's the first time I've ever, I've got 4,000 hours in this game. I don't think I've ever lost a settler to a flood. Okay, so we've got our second city at turn 38. So we beat the previous by 4 turns. We're going to ride this out to the start of turn 42 and then do our comparison of where did we end up overall in our growth and production and whatnot. A little bit more of the map uncovered in that case. He had an outstanding production or a promotion that I didn't do. No difference here in what pantheon we would accept. It would be that one. So this is turn 41, so this will be our last. So that's it. Okay, so on turn 42 at the start, I mean, we made a little bit of additional progress here. We finished through bronze working, so that shows us our iron right there. And what a great start location. I might come back and play this one. We've got the builder out, so these 3 are about to get improved significantly, boosting production in this city, but fair's fair in comparison. Let's see how these ended up. So overall, we've got 59 gold. And then let's pull up our yield comparison. 6 production, 9 food, 6 gold, 1 faith, and 4.9 science with 2.0 culture. So I would say overall, these two were a little bit closer in that we advanced some things on this game that we did not when we built the settler first. We've got a little bit more of the map uncovered. We met Eleanor of France, and so we've got her capital on the map as well. We've got the iron there. We've got the builder built. So it's not quite as clear of a win, but I will say when we look at the numbers of the production, it's building the settler first and establishing that city. You've got 150 more gold. You've got 2 more production, 2 more food. Gold was the same. Faith was the same. Science was the same. And you had 0.6 more culture by building the settler first. So just on the pure stats, you got better start by doing a builder and then a settler. And then sorry, not a builder, but a slinger, and then your settler, and then 2 more ranged. Slightly better this time. So it was really better the first time, slightly better this time. We're going to do at least 1 more of these. So let's go ahead and restart. Now, again, this is going to give us a new civilization and a new map because of the settings of having a random leader. Pedro. Okay. Pedro, what are we doing here? Let's kind of explore that way. That's Plain Hills. That's Plain Hills. Moving here. That do much for us? I mean, we've got so much jungle around. I think I'm going to settle in place on this one as well. We're not going to spend too much time talking about that. Yeah, we're just gonna go with where we're at. And we're doing our slinger first. Start to uncover. Here, let me show this at the beginning too, just in case. There's your map seed and your game seed. Okay, now I've only got 1 population, so I can't do the settler yet. So we're going to get started on that second slinger, and we will switch over as soon as that hits a pop of 2. And we're going to try and head off the scout so we can get our Eureka. I'm going to not pursue. I want to heal him so I can get into that goody hut. Oh, man. Go that way. Okay, so let's go ahead then. We're going to go over to our settler. Got a little distracted by the goody hut. I would have changed that. I would have changed that over to the settler, but since the slinger was almost done and I was focusing on the goody hut, we just let the slinger finish on this one. So we'll go ahead and keep going here. For research next, we've got, let's go mining. Code of laws is up. We've got that and that. Confirm those. Man, we might get done pretty quick with these guys. We can upgrade our archer. I don't actually have the gold to upgrade this other one for another turn, so he will have to wait. And this is another good map. Nice little science +4 campus there. There's the +3 campus up there with Brazil and all this jungle. I mean, that's a good campus there, good campus there, good campus there. Just options everywhere for good campus. Let's do bronze working at that point, since we've already got the Eureka for it. Help us uncover the iron. Top him off. Oh. And that's a really good Brazil start with all that jungle. Okay, next city then. I would put him over here. With all the jungle around there for Brazil, that's really good. If you don't know, one of Brazil's Civ bonuses is they get additional adjacency bonus from jungle. So you can build some really good districts with jungle tiles around. We still have one more archer to build to get us to the 3 archers. Plus 20 horses. That is great. Not really. Your promotion. This city's going right there. And we'll put in a builder. West Ham, we're just about done here. Oh, we are done actually. So that gives us, we've got our 2 cities and we've got our 3 archers, 28 turns. So well done, Brazil. Taking a look at our stats, 127 gold. And then looking at our yields here. 9 production. 9 food, 11.7 gold, 1 faith, 5.9 science, and 2 culture. Okay, so we'll go ahead and load back. I want to say that was like turn 6 or 7. Now, there was a lot produced there. Part of that, or a lot of that, is because we settled on Plains Hills. So that gave the city an extra production, allowed us to get through some of that stuff a lot faster. Well, actually, you know what? Because I built 2 slingers. So let me go ahead another 6 turns. So I'm going to load into, just because of the way that that last game went and not being able to build the settler right away. If I load into turn 12, I built 2 slingers straight away without adjusting. So I'll go into turn 12. That way I just have to build the last slinger. Then I'll build the settler. That'll get us to the same place. Just removes a little bit more of that variability by not replaying those turns where something else might happen. Okay, so now we've got, this is our second slinger up. So we are going to, we got population too. Wow, that's different, I believe. I don't remember what we got in that last time. I don't think it was population though. So third slinger, we're going to push out. Archery's done. Woo. See, this is gonna, with these random events and Brazil being as good as they are and this start location, starting on Plains Hills, those variables I think are gonna make this one look a little bit different. Upgrade our archer there. Now I'm still a few turns away from having the gold there. Oh, 54. Okay, so there's our third archer. Let's see, what did I take next? I would probably still take bronze working, even though I don't have the Eureka yet, because I would anticipate killing that. Killing the scout, and then that will give me the Eureka. Let's upgrade him before I forget that one. Goody hut there. So I'm about to hit turn 28 here. This will be interesting to see. I did not get my second city out. So I expect these numbers will be a little bit lower at least. Just pop the settler out, but I'm not going to get that extra city. So let's do our turn 28 comparison. So we've got 113 gold in the bank. And if we take a peek at the yields, 9 production, 9 food, 9 gold, 1 faith, 5.5 science, 1.8 culture. Okay, so the quick comparison then between those two, slightly less gold, same production in food. Now there's a reason for that, and that's because I got population out of that goody hut. That's the only reason the production and food matched. If I had not gotten population out of that goody hut, I would have one less pop in this city and the production and food would be lower. Even with that, the previous game where I went ranged, settler, ranged, that ended up producing, I'm producing 2.7 more gold, same faith, 0.4 more science, 0.2 more culture. So even, even with the extra, the nice reward from that goody hut, the settler first, or settler second, I should say, settler second game came out to be better than 3 slingers first. Let me go ahead and do one more of these. So we're going to go ahead and restart this game. See who we get on the 4th run. This, I guess I'll do it this way. If the settler second, the not 3 slinger way comes out on top, that's going to be 4 for 4. I'm going to call that good enough. Or we're going to say that building 3 slingers in a row to start off the game is not the best approach, and you're going to be behind if that's the approach that you take. Even though strictly looking at the gold, it's cheaper to build slingers and upgrade them, you are going to fall behind if you don't get that settler out sooner rather than later. Okay, so taking a look at this map, what are my choices? I can move down here off the river. If this was a mountain, I'd be tempted to do that, because then I could build an aqueduct. No big deal. This being a volcano, that's really not okay. I'm not feeling okay about that. I don't have a better... I mean, I could go to that Plains Hills and be off the river, but then I can build an aqueduct later, a dam. This would have been a good spot for an industrial zone, because I'd have aqueduct, dam, and a quarry. That was the word I'm looking for. Let me, I'm feeling up there. Let me go this way. See what we get. Yeah, let's go there. We're going to go settle. Going to go settle up here. All right, so now I get a 2-2 out of that, which will allow this to go slightly differently. Slinger first. We're going to do slinger, then settler, assuming, well, we're going to have a couple of turns where we will start working on our second ranged. And while I'm thinking about it, there's your map and game seed. Okay, first slinger's up. And I'm going to move him that way. Get our policy cards there. Just doing craftsman. Okay, so let's switch. Change production to settler. This is turn 11. So we'll remember that. Oh, I got a recon unit. So with the recon unit, I'm going to quit exploring with other people since the recon unit gets bonuses for uncovering things. Oh man, I got a builder too. Now, if this was a game that really mattered, I would take some time to plot out how am I building. I also think I should not build with this guy because that's a variable that will impact the results. I'm just going to go ahead and leave him sitting there. And I mean, the only way that's going to impact it is it's going to make the settler strat, the settler build, even stronger. So by leaving the builder, oh man, and horses, like by leaving the builder, I'm only weakening these results. They would be even stronger if I went and put this builder into play. I'm going to try and get this guy to kill him. I think I'll be able to do that. Nice. That worked out well. So we got our archery Eureka. Our settler is way on the way. Our scout is scouting. Eleanor again. Okay, and now I would come back and just D up with these guys while the scout gets to explore. So see, since the scout uncovered that natural wonder, he got XP for that and a level. Lots of forest around, so we'll go with forest. As far as research, I would go with mining, which allowed me, see, so at this point I would have had 2 horses plus the quarry in 9 turns. Man, that would have been ridiculous. So our settler is done. Now we're going to crank out our two archers to get us to 3 archers. Looking at where to build. In this game, I would be concerned about Paris up here, especially it being Eleanor and knowing that they have a lot of loyalty pressure that they can put out. I can't go build on this river because of the already existing loyalty pressure. So I would look to identify where would I build. Personally, I would have built here, which then allows me to build a city here. And that's where I would move. And that allows me to start shoring up some good city size to defend against Eleanor up there. Away, run away. Let's see, we're gonna duck into there and get some cover. Kind of backpedal and fight those guys. He's gonna heal. He's getting his city down. Since I'm only on Prince, I can just fortify there and heal. I'll do bronze working next. So that is, see that he's going to rebel already. This, I would be preparing an attack on Paris if I was going to actually play this game. So we've got one more archer to build in order to get us to spot. Okay, let's heal those guys up. Bad horses. Oh man, look at that. Free settler. No settler option there. Doesn't really matter. I'd probably take that since there's a bunch of horses and cows around me. Gonna move him in this direction to try and intercept him. I would be bringing that dude over on board as well. Oh, what? Misclick. That's okay. All right. Well, turn 39. I wouldn't have been able to drop the settler anyway and build a third city, but turn 39, I've got my 3 archers. I've got 2 cities. So let's go ahead and total this one out. 260 gold. And if we look at our yields, 9 production, 9 food, 6 gold, 1 faith, 4.4 science, 4.3 culture. So that's where that leaves us. So that was settler as the second build. And let's go ahead then and load back. We remember it's autosave 11. And we'll do this again with the Cree Slinger build and see if that, wasn't it 11? Thought it was 11. Oh, I should have hit that. Okay. Oh, that's 11 is when I switched. That's what it was. Because I had to switch to build the settler since the city was only a level 1 when I built that first slinger. We're going to move up to try and get this Eureka again. building the third slinger. Block him off just because. That'll get us the Eureka there. That'll kill that. And then he's going to go back and defend. He's going to camp out because we have that scout. And he's going to camp out as well. Get to meet you. Thanks for nothing. Okay, we've got our 3 slingers. We still do not have archery. We're going to move on to the settler. What turn? I didn't write down the turn. It was turn 39. Turn 39 is where I finished the previous one. Okay, just picking lots of the same stuff. Archery's done. He needs to go away. Now we can upgrade. For research, we're going mining. Pushing this archer over to help out the scout so the scout doesn't get yoinked. Move him back there and heal. He's got scout cover. Settler's going to go to the same spot. And then, so we've got our 1, 2, 3 archers now. Let's go ahead and throw out a builder. Oh, well, see, this might be advantageous as well, because the way I defended the city with those guys and let the scout explore, now I'm very well positioned to capitalize on this this settler. Now, as an aside on this, again, this isn't why I'm really here, although I need to be careful. That might be a problem. I'm going to move him over here. And yeah, got to make sure the horse doesn't come and grab that settler. That could move things in the wrong direction. So I'm trying to corral the horse so that he cannot escape. Pause there, pause there. Another Civ down there. He's going to capture him. Now, what I would do here is, so I'm going to put the city there. This guy, 1, 2, 3, is going to come out and put a city there. No option for the settler, so take pastures. Won't really impact the game. We're at turn 36. China. But actually, if I was playing this, I would be moving those guys in that direction to start the siege. I'm going to have to continue to protect this settler to get him to the right spot. The builder is done. At this point, I would crank out a warrior. We'll go ahead and see how uneven this... I'm getting more produced here than I did in the previous game. He's going to put that city there. I realize it's going to rebel soon, but also... Oh, man, I don't want to put the city there if I can avoid it. That's 38, though, so it won't matter, actually. What would I do here? Can I buy a monument? Not even close. 23 turns to a monument. I'd probably start on that. Come over here and build that. That's going to be the turn. And that gets me to 38. Or 39, sorry. So turn 39, here we go. So that's a match. Didn't get the settler put down there either. What I would have done is put him here because there's a jungle there. So if I put a science or a campus right here, I'd get one adjacency from those two, and then I get 2 from that. So it'd be a +3 adjacency campus. But I'm on turn 39, so time to tally where we're at. So we've got 66 gold. And then let's take a look at our yield reports here. 8 production, 8 food, 6 gold, 1 faith, 3.4 science, 5.7 culture. Okay, so let's talk through a little bit of why that one was so different. Because of these tiles that I had around this city, by waiting to build the settler, that kept the population of the city higher, which means more tiles were worked, which means it had more production. So I got further along in the production of this city. It allowed me to kick out that builder and be almost done with another warrior. So that was helpful, yes, but the numbers overall are still lower on everything but culture. So the first go, when I did the settler sooner, I had +1 production, +1 food, same gold, same faith. I had a full extra point of science, and I was 1.4 culture less. So on everything but culture, that idea of building the settler after the first slinger, everything but culture, that was a better That was a better play. My cities were further along. And yes, you could say, oh, I'm about to settle this other city. That would make a big difference. But if you remember in that first pass through, I was about to capture that same settler from the barbarians anyway. I would have captured him. I would have put that city down. And so I would say the variability of the game did not make a meaningful difference in the outcomes that we saw. We went through 4 rounds, 4 different civilizations, 4 different gameplays to get to 3 archers. And in all 4 instances, the overall numbers for the civilization were higher when you built Slinger, then Settler, then your other 2 ranged units. So it goes back to what I had said in the beginning. Yes, from a gold-only perspective, building 3 slingers and then upgrading them is cheaper. But the opportunity cost of building the settler, the opportunity cost of building the slingers instead of the settler is higher than the gold that you're saving, meaning it is better to build the settler second than it is to build 3 slingers. That's 4 rounds of me doing this. All 4 times that held to be true. Slinger first, then settler, then 2 more ranged. You're going to end up in a better spot. If you have a different experience, I'd love to see it. Drop a link somewhere, send me a link. Just let me know if you have a different experience in your games, but here are 4 games done randomly. All 4 times it's better to do Slinger, Builder, Slinger, Settler, and then your other 2 ranged. So that's going to end the stream for today, and the video for today as well. Appreciate you watching. We will talk to you soon.